Sure.
Okay, it's currently recording.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to this special session. It's not what we normally do. Normally we have a nice little event on the lawn, but what we're trying to do is make you feel comfortable about coming to Cal State Fullerton. We are the largest CSU in the system now, and we have thousands of students who wanted in. About 70,000 applied, about 8,000 got in. So if you're accepted, which we know you are, consider yourself lucky and consider yourself a proud Titan. We have some information we want to share with you today. We have some students, we have an alumnus, and we have our person who holds us all together in the front office. Ji Dong is also here, he's graduate coordinator. So we're going to have some free flow of questions and thoughts, let you know what's going on in the department. We're going through an accreditation process right now. We're fully accredited, and we expect that to continue. And we got a whole office is renovated for when we get back. And that's not when, it's, it's not if, it's when. And so we're looking forward to meeting you personally and meeting your folks if they come to campus,
Okay, thank you, Dr. Bedell. Thank you for the introduction. So today I'm going to do a brief introduction, PowerPoint introduction of our department. So let me share the screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, let's see if I can play this. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the electrical engineering session for the Welcome to the CSUF Day event. This year, it's a little bit different than the past years where we have physical gathering in front of our building. However, we are still here to help you to try to get familiar about our program. Like I mentioned earlier, today we have Dr. Bedell, our department chair here, and also my name is Jidong Huang. I'm a faculty member in electrical engineering. And we also have Stephanie, the department administrative service coordinator here, and a few students, Victor, Batu, and Steve here. Firstly, let's look at a little bit about our program or our department. If this is a physical visit to the campus, you will see where our buildings are and you will see our facilities. But since today, unfortunately, we're doing this online, so I'm going to show you a map and you will see where the two buildings are. Primarily, those are the two buildings where most of our students will take classes from. And on the campus map, as you can see, we are primarily in two buildings, E and CS. E stands for engineering, CS stands for computer science. Our office is on the south side of the engineering building on the first floor. The office number is E100A. Our classrooms and labs, they are primarily in these two buildings, E and CS. The E and CS buildings, they're very approximate to many of the facilities on campus, like the library is just to the west of our buildings. And then there are also sports facilities and dining hall. They're all close to our two buildings. If you would like to contact us at any time, our phone number is 657-278-3013. And we are also available through email. The email address is electengineoffice@fullerton.edu. Please feel free to contact us. I know you are already admitted and you are looking forward to your Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering studies. So you may have a lot of questions regarding what to expect in the years ahead. So please feel free to contact us. In our department, we have about 10 full-time faculty and then about 15 adjunct faculty. All of our faculties, most of them have PhD degree or advanced training in the professional areas within WE. So we are very good at many of our curriculum contents, delivering those curriculum content within the electrical engineering areas. We have one administrative service coordinator helping to interact with students and try to solve your problems. And there are two lab technicians who are helping us to maintain all the facilities, including those labs within our department. For more information about our department, I encourage you to visit our website, which is given here. And we have recently updated our website. We were constantly adding we will constantly add new contents to the website. So that's the place where you will find the most recent information about the department. So next, hold on, looks like this is, I would like to talk a little bit about the program. As you can see on the screen, this is the flow chart. Depending on where you are, if you are a freshman, you would start from the first column. And the flow chart, as you can see, each column stands for one semester. There's a total of 8 columns. That means there's a total of 8 semesters. And each year we have 2 semesters, fall and spring. So if you start everything from the first column and move along the way, if you take about 15 units per semester or 30 units per year, because sometimes we also offer summer classes. You could take classes in between the years during the summer. Then you will be able to graduate in 4 years. And we strongly recommend our students to follow this flow chart so that you will be able to graduate as soon as possible. And many studies have shown that the earlier you graduate, the better. And this is for freshmen. You will start from the first column, first year, first semester. But if you are a transfer student, then we will have to look into your individual case to see whether you have taken any math or science courses. And depending on where you are in the flow chart, we will help you design a way to move through the flow chart so that you can graduate as soon as possible. So the next, we will talk a little bit about student support and advising. In our college, the current support structure is that for freshmen and sophomore, it's advised by the college. We have a success center, student success center at the college. All freshmen and sophomore, they are required to do academic advising with the center at least once a year. But we prefer you to have advising at least once per semester. At the Student Success Center, they will teach you about GE courses, how you choose the GE courses and which GE courses are suitable for you or appropriate for you, and other general course selections within the engineering disciplines in the first 2 years. And there are also many academic success workshops held by the Student Success Center. They also provide peer mentoring or tutoring service, especially for the lower division mathematics and science courses. So if you are having difficulty with those subjects, they take appointments, and you can also do walk-in to get tutoring service from the Student Success Center. Once you are a junior or senior student, then the advising is done by the department. And currently in the department, there's a dedicated faculty member who is our undergraduate advisor. Currently, he's Dr. Raman Krishnan. He's the undergraduate advisor for our department. He's the former dean of the college and very experienced educator in the electrical engineering field, and he understands very well about our job market. And so he's a very good advisor for our BSW students. Again, like I mentioned earlier, the advising is required at least once a year. However, we prefer you to see the advisors at least once per semester to make sure that you are on track towards timely graduation. Our facilities, if you have attended the college session, you see some similar pictures. Here, this is how, in general, our classroom and the labs look like. The classroom, depending on the type of classroom, some of the classrooms are purely lecture classrooms, and some of the classrooms are dual-use classrooms. Like this one I show you on the right-hand side on the top is CS 406, Computer Science Building 406, room 406. It's a dual-use lecture and lab room. You see the computer monitors on each desk. The monitors can be put down and put away so that the desk become, the whole room becomes a lecture-only room. And if you want to use the computer, you can pull the computer out and you can work on software on those computers. So this is a typical classroom setting, as you can see, for our program. And within our department, there are also many labs to help satisfy the needs that you need in order to gain the hands-on experience. And we all know that for engineers, hands-on experience is a must-to-have skills. And we have about 10 different labs, many of them supporting teaching needs, and some of them supporting the research needs. Those labs, like electrical circuits lab, will help you gain hands-on experience on the design and analysis of the electrical circuits. And we also have electronics lab, including both analog electronics and digital electronics. So you can design electronics and circuits. There are also power lab where you can learn about the operation of the electrical motors. And we also have a cine design lab where you will use what you have learned from the program to design something to solve real world problems. We'll see some of the example cine design projects later on. And there are also some research labs like robotics lab where you can work on design of different robots, like ground robots, UAV, and underwater robots. And we also have a GPS and navigation lab. This is one of the very few in the nation to have a facility to learn about GPS and navigation system design. We also have an optics lab where if you want to learn about optical communication, this is the place where you can work on. So in a lab, as you can see on the picture on the right, at the bottom, there are many different equipment that you could possibly use to work on your experiment. And this equipment are very similar to the ones that you are going to see in real industry. And so for our students, once you get familiar with the equipment in our labs, it's a smooth transition when you actually move into the job market to work in the actual industry. So currently our program supports advanced technical studies in 4 areas of specialization. Our program is designed in a way that in the first 1, 2, and 3 years, you will learn fundamental knowledge about electrical engineering. So the program is designed in a way that if you gain those fundamental knowledge, you will also be successful in any of the possible technical areas within the WE fields. Specifically in our program, we have faculty doing research and instructional activities supporting the following 4 primary areas. Number 1 is communication systems or signal processing. This involves the design of a communication system, which could be wired or wireless communication system, like the design of a cell phone system and the design of the antennas for cell phone uses. The second area is computer engineering or digital systems design. This is where we study about how a computer is designed in terms of hardware configuration. Like how do we design different hardware within a computer system, and how we could use those hardware like microcontroller or FPGA board to set up different digital systems for doing like digital control. For instance, in a microwave machine, how do you set up the digital system to control the microwave oven operation? And the third area is control systems. This deals with the design and modeling of a control system, and typical applications of a control systems like aerospace control, the robotics, design of the robot, navigation guidance and control. So that's the third area where you will learn about how you set up a control system for different type of control operations. And the fourth one is the electronics and circuits. This is also one of the traditional areas within WE where you learn about the design of the different electronics, like power electronics, the circuits, integrated circuit, those IC chips, how you design those IC chips. And so those are the four primary areas of studies within our program. And recently, the department is also looking into adding more courses to help satisfy the needs of our students. And for example, we have recently added 2 courses in the power systems. One is power electronics, the other is advanced power analysis, because we recognize the need from industry to have those courses to help educate students to be ready for those areas. And the department chair usually have several open house every year. So during those open houses, if you would like to let him know a particular area that you are interested in, please let him know, and we will also look into the possibilities of adding new courses for those areas. As I mentioned earlier, every student in our program at the end, they are required to finish a capstone or senior design project. This is an experience for our students to work either independently or work in a group to gain experiences on hands-on design. And there are some sample projects, for example, autonomous delivery drone, smart bicycle lock, Bluetooth speaker arrays, automatic irrigation systems, mirror with digital display, and automatic cleaner for solar system, self-charging smart skateboard. So you can see that our students, they have a lot of different interests on different systems to work on. And this is where you apply the knowledge you learn from those fundamental courses to try to solve a problem in the real world and develop something that's innovative that could also potentially have business values. Our students are very active. Currently in the department, there are 2 primary student organizations, IEEE and ION. IEEE stands for Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. This is the world's most largest professional society. And our students are very active. They have the student chapter here on campus. They have organized many different events. For example, inviting industrial speakers to campus, organizing social gathering events, doing workshops to learn about how to do soldering, doing workshops to learn about artificial intelligence and machine learning. So our student organization, IEEE, is very active in terms of engaging students in active learning. And also, one of the things about our student organization is that they have dedicated rooms. In some of the other departments, they also have student organization, but they don't have a dedicated space. Our IEEE and ION both have a dedicated room for them. In their room, it's like a mini lab set up where you can find equipment and devices where you can work on a different type of design project, or it's a social space where you can meet people, especially those who have been here for a little bit time, like the juniors and seniors who understands very well about our program. If you visit IEEE, most likely you will see them working there day and night. So it's a good place to visit once you're on campus. And the IEEE also offers services like electronic parts and 3D printing and circuit prototyping. So I strongly encourage our students, once you're here, to visit the IEEE student chapter. They are on the 4th floor of the engineering building. And our students are very active in on-campus events, including, for example, pumpkin launch. And the picture on the right is a picture of our student attending the pumpkin launch event. It's an annual event every November. And I believe this year, IEEE has won the first place for the pumpkin launch event. And every year, every semester, there's a Discover Fest where you can tour different organizations on campus and try to sign up with those student organizations. IEEE is also active participant of our Discover Fest event. ECS Week, every spring, there's 1 week of different activities, engaging students with the project showcase, getting industry people coming to campus to serve as a professor for a day. So that's also a good opportunity and for students to interact with the industry people. There's also career expo, internship fair, job fair, and so on and so forth going on to support and help students. One of the things that we have recently studied, thanks to Dr. Bedell, we wrote a proposal to the university and we got funded for the proposal to go to Puerto Rico every summer to help study their power system and help improve their power systems. This year, due to the outbreak of the COVID-19, we are unable to go. So hopefully next year, when everything goes back to normal, we'll be able to go. So that's a brief introduction about the program. So next, I hope this has provided you some enough information about our program and department. Next, I would like to invite our department chair, Dr. Bedell, to say a little bit. And then after him, we will invite some of our current students to share about their experience.
Right.
Bedell?
Yes, thank you very much, Jidong. That was very thorough. As I think the people who are watching this will get the idea that the department is small enough to have quality and small enough to meet the individual student needs. And that's one of our goals. So we want the parents to know that we take our responsibility very, very seriously as we take their young people and get them ready for a career. So I think that it's I'm very proud of our students, very proud of the 3 who are on with us today. And I think that what we have here is an opportunity. We've had students graduate last January. We had students graduate over the summer who in fact have gotten excellent jobs. One of them is with us today. And so I'm just really proud of what we accomplished in the department and happy you have been accepted here and hope you choose us. So Jidong, there you go.
Okay, so next, let's ask our student, current student, Victor. But you said you have a PowerPoint to share?
Yeah, I'll share mine right now.
Okay, please go ahead. Let's see if you can do that. Are you a co-host?
No, I'm not.
Okay, hold on. Let me make you a co-host. Oh, I cannot make you a co-host. Waydam, are you still here?
Yes,
Can you make Victor a co-host?
no. Who else started the meeting?
I'm a co-host. I'm not the host of the meeting.
Yeah, I think it has to be Dr. Bedell.
How do I do that?
You right click on Victor's face and tell him make a co-host. Right click on his face. Hey, Victor.
Hello.
Okay.
Right.
That okay, Victor? I did it.
Can
Yeah.
you share now?
Yeah.
That should work. Okay, so just to begin off, I'm Bartu Setino. I'm the Shell Eco Lead of IEEE. And this is Victor. He's the current president of IEEE. And yeah, so a little bit about us. We are the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers. Basically, what our goal is for you guys is to graduate as competitive and multifaceted job applicants. What that means is we want to be able to take what you guys learn in your courses and be able to apply them to outside projects that you can add to your resume, but also learn something from. You know, a lot of the stuff that you learn within your courses and within the labs is really beneficial, but the more you do on top of it, the better you look. So we, you know, Going along with that, we like to provide more hands-on opportunities for you guys, and as well as we understand how important it is for you guys to be able to, show what you do on your resume and also excel throughout an interview. So we provide a couple of resources for you guys. Well, a little more than a couple. So we have 2 lab workstations that have a fully functioning oscilloscope, signal generator, and DMM. These are common items that you're going to use throughout your labs for your classes. But there are times that the labs are closed, so our room is always open to any student. You guys don't necessarily have to be a member. You can come in and just get to know us, or even use the resources we provide for you guys. Going along with those resources, we also do have computers with every program needed to help with projects or studies. So basically, any CAD or circuit design software you may possibly need, our computers will have them, and they are very capable of running them as well. We do have 2 3D printers that a lot of seniors use on their senior design, but also we do print things here and there, for little projects, or for even like events like this. If we did have it on the lawn, we would have had a couple like iPhone stands to hand out to you guys and whatnot. Recently, we did acquire a Volterra PCB printer. This was a very lengthy process, and I'm sure Steve can elaborate on that as well. But that is something that, is another available resource. We do have a project manager that is capable of functioning it and teaching other students who are interested. And going alongside the most important part, I know they're expensive, so we do have textbooks that are available for students to use in the actual club room. They're not, available for rent. They're not, allowed for you to take outside of the room, but in the event that you do need a textbook that you might not have, we do provide it for you, and you can even take a photo of it. So we provide a lot of opportunities for you guys, many of them being leadership opportunities. We don't really like to stick to, let's say one president for too long, or we don't like that, because we like sharing leadership opportunities. We think it's a great way to, learn real life skills while being able to implement electrical engineering and project cooperation throughout all of it. In the past, we have worked with our regional executives through IEEE to provide internship opportunities. It was called Bites and Bots, and I know Steve can also elaborate on that as well. It was basically an internship provided by one of the people that attended the meetings, Kumar, and basically it was students who would get together and teach other like K through 12 students about like STEM, microcontroller, Arduino type of stuff, and make them, light LEDs up to get them interested in STEM. We do get a lot of speakers. We have organized a lot of speakers going, also with community outreach and giving back. These are a lot of things that we feel is important to, going back to what I said, developing a multifaceted, competitive applicant when it comes to a job interview and application. And we do also provide tutoring. We have students who end up getting tutoring opportunities, meaning that they can tutor other students as like I don't want to say a job, but essentially it is. But also at the same time, if you have any questions, you can come into our club and ask us any question that you may have. If I can't get an answer to you and I don't know an answer, I will find someone that can get you an answer.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Who's next? Steve, do you want to talk about what it's like to be a graduate?
Yeah, sure. Well, my name is Steve Segastuman. I was one of the old IEEE presidents. So I worked along with Bartu and Victor, and you could see that all our development, it really pushed us to do and strive for better. We've gotten a lot of internships. We've had NASA, Northrop come speak to our students so they can get an insight on what they need to learn and what they need to be competitive in the workforce. I currently work for Eaton Corporation, and I feel like the main thing that really got me through the door was my projects and what I learned in school, because when they asked me questions, I was able to elaborate and be able to express and show them how much I'd learned through my years of college. It's a great club. It'll bring to fruition whatever you'd like to learn, and also you'll be around like-minded students who all have the same plan, and then you guys can help each other out. And to this day, I still like to give back and help out in however I can, because I knew at one time I was a student there too, and I didn't know what was going on and how to make it in the workforce.
Thank you. Okay, Ji-Dong, what's next?
Mike is muted.
Ji-Dong.
Dr. Wan, your mic is muted.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Next, I think we're going to have the Q&A session. And before the Q&A session, I saw that Stephanie is here. Do you want to say hi? Hi, Stephanie.
Hello, everybody. I handle the front office, so I think more so when you become a junior, I'll be dealing with you more hands-on, but I am here, and I just wanted to say hi to everybody.
Okay, good. So next, let's go into the question and answer session. I know that we have several student or parent participation in today's session. Any questions? Please feel free to ask. And if you have a question, you can either use the chat box to send us the question, or if you like to talk to us, we can try to unmute you. Please let us know.
I'm showing 4 in the chat room, Ji-Dong.
Yeah, I saw that Woo Kim has a question, I think.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you. I'm a junior. Well, I'll be a junior. I'm transferring from a community college, and I just have a question for you guys. So what's the main difference between EE and, well, electrical engineering and electronics engineering?
Okay, so let me elaborate a little bit on this. Traditionally, there's a difference between electrical and electronics engineering, especially in European countries. But in the US, both electrical and electronics engineering, they are in the same discipline. Electrical engineering traditionally is dealing with the generation and transfer of the power, including high power and weak power. Electronics traditionally is dealing with the design and use of the electronic circuits. But here in the US, both electrical and electronics engineering, they are under the same discipline, and we call it electrical engineering.
Okay. So if I, for example, studied EE, would I be able to graduate with like EE and electronics engineering degree at the same time, or are they two separate degrees?
It's one degree, but the courses, if you look on your transcript, you will see some electronic courses, and you will see some electrical machine courses. You will see the power courses. So the courses will show that you have training from both the electrical and also electronics field.
Gotcha. So I'm essentially taking both the classes for EE and electronics.
Correct.
Gotcha. That was my question. Thanks very much.
So, whoa. So what high school did you go to?
I went to Dana Hills High School. It's
Okay, sure.
in Dana Point.
South County, right? So
Yeah.
campuses are you looking at? And maybe what campuses are you interested in?
Oh, for this college?
Yeah.
Electrical engineering. I'm
You're just looking at Cal State Fullerton. Is that your plan?
Yeah, I already took my offer. They accept.
Oh, okay.
offer.
Good for you. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
We have one of the highest transfer rates in the state of California from community colleges at Fullerton. So you put a lot of support.
Okay, any other question?
I'll go ahead and mute myself. Thank you for your answers.
Okay.
Oh, sure, thank you. Anybody else?
So you can use your chat box down and you don't have to talk. You can type your message
Okay,
and send it to Dr. Wang. Make sure you select Dr. Wang
yeah.
and send it to him. He's going to read it out and he may answer it or somebody else may.
Okay, so I saw one question. The question is 120 credits required to get a bachelor's degree? Okay, so let me try to answer this question. Yes, for our Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, 120 credits are required. And we divide the 120 credits into different parts. There are math and science requirements. There are fundamental electrical engineering courses. There are, we call that core EE courses. There are also GE courses, general education courses. There are also tech elective courses. The total, when you add them up together, it's 120 units. And this is why, if possible, please visit our website, then you can see the flow chart to see what are the different courses that are required from the program. If you're a freshman, you will start from the first column, but if you're a transfer student, then depending on what courses you have already taken at the community college, you can look into what other courses remain that you need to take. And our advisors, including the college student success team and the department's undergraduate advisor, they are very good and capable of understanding what your needs are, and we try to direct you to take the courses that can help you graduate in time. So 120 units is the minimum for you to get the Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering degree. Maybe some of our students can talk a little bit about this, like Victor, Batu, Steve. You want to talk a little bit about 120 credit requirement?
Yeah, so I was actually a transfer student. I transferred from Fullerton College. So when you transferred, you kind of have to go and make sure that you keep in line what classes you're going to have to take in the future, because sometimes some of the classes you take in the community college aren't the same names as when you get to the university. And some of the 120 classes you're going to take have prereqs under them. So you kind of have to make sure that you have those prereqs filled, so then you can take those classes and you can get in line to graduate on time.
Okay. So do we answer the question or any additional question?
Actually, if I could add on to what Steve said, so as well as for seeing if the credits and courses transfer, I believe there's a website called assist.org is where you can see which courses correlate with the ones that we have and if they actually do have an overlap anywhere.
That's a good point, Bartu. Good point. I think one of the things that really strikes me, excuse me, is the need to be sure you get your prerequisites in line, because that really messes up students a semester or a year. So really follow the prerequisite guidelines. Go back to that chart that we showed you earlier, and you have a lot of control, so you can pay attention to what you're doing in the courses that you take.
Yeah, that's why it's important for you to meet with our advisors, and they can tell you which are the critical courses that you have to take in order to graduate in time.
Anybody else with questions in the chat box, Gio?
Not yet.
Because we have 7 more minutes, so we just want to be sure we get everybody.
Okay. I got another question. The question is, the student has obtained an AA in electronic science after completing 76 units. Will an advisor tell him if they are accepted. Okay. Depending on the courses you have taken at the community college, like Batu just mentioned, there's a website called assist.org. On that website, you will be able to find equivalent courses. And then you can try to match like which courses from the community college or AA can be used toward our BSW degree. But sometimes not every course is available on assist.org. So in some cases, our advisor will do evaluation by looking into the course content, like the syllabus of the course, and decide whether that or those particular courses can be transferred to replace some of the courses in our flowchart. So yes, once you meet the advisor will tell you exactly how many units can be transferred and which courses has already been satisfied and what are the remaining courses. You could visit the Student Success Center at the college. They can help you with that. Or you could set up an appointment with our undergraduate advisor. Actually, our undergraduate advisor currently is still doing advising online. If you want to talk to him, please email the department. At the beginning of the session, I shared with you our email address is electengoffice. So the address, if you have questions, so is electengoffice@fullerton.edu. So once you send an email to this address and request an appointment to see our undergraduate advisor, the department will help set up an appointment for you to see the undergraduate advisor. And then we recommend you to send a transcript, unofficial transcript to the advisor so that the advisor can take a look at the courses that the student has taken, and the advisor can better answer the question, whether the course can be transferred and how many can be transferred, and then what should the student should take next semester and so on. Okay.
Anybody?
Any other question? We have 3 more minutes. Okay, I don't see any more questions, but I saw Wu is happy about our session, right? Yeah, hopefully we are able to give enough information for you to jumpstart a great department session. Okay.
Now my chat.
There's another question. Okay.
I was going to say chat just went up to 6.
Yeah. Okay, I saw that. What's the other question? Please go ahead. So who has another question?
Dr. Bedell, the questions that they receive are directed to you. Nobody else can see them, so you may want to read them out.
I
saw
don't.
another question from Wu. Go ahead.
Yeah, just another quick question. So I know that we're opening in the fall, hopefully. Is there anything that you recommend as a transferring student, as a junior, to do during the summer to prepare for the classes in the fall, to make it easier or help for the classes in the fall?
I know you're a transfer student, right? So you
Yeah.
have taken some science and math courses.
Right.
The first step would be try to set up an appointment to see or meet with our undergraduate advisor, Dr. Muni Krishna, online. So he can evaluate your transcript and know that what are the courses you have already taken and which course can be used to replace some of those courses. And then he can specifically tell you, for example, if you finish Math 250A, the next will be Math 250B. And he can share with you what's in Math 250B, what you need to prepare in the summer, so that when you come in the fall to take Math 250B, what do you expect? And similarly, if you have finished math and physics courses, he can give you guidance and suggestions on WE courses to take. And he can tell you, you can ask him, for example, what the content to be covered in those courses? Do I need to make any preparations? And he may even be able to guide you to the schedule online to see which professor is the instructor for those courses. And you can feel free to email those instructors and say that I'm going to enroll in your course in the fall. Can you tell me a little bit about how we can prepare for the class coming in the fall?
Gotcha. And I send the unofficial transcript to the email that you put on the chat, right?
Yes, I would recommend you send just a request to have the advisor appointment first. Then you send the transcript to the advisor.
Okay, and would the meeting with the advisor be online like this on Zoom?
Yes, it's
Okay.
They have to
one-to-one.
be. Everybody's online now, Woo. Everybody's like,
Yeah, but it's one-to-one session.
Okay. And would we get an assigned advisor for each student, or can I just see any advisors?
Right now for WE, we have a dedicated faculty as the undergraduate advisor. So you will see